Hello students, welcome back to the economics class of plus 2 standard. As we were working with lesson number 17, circular flow of income. In this previously we have done two sector model of circular flow of income, in which we have discussed household and firms with savings and without saving model. Today we will discuss the topics circular flow of income in a three sector economy, circular flow of income in a modern economy, and importance of the study of circular flow of income models. So you know that all economic activities begin with the organization of production process. Four factor inputs like land, labor, capital and enterprise join hands to produce different goods and services. Income generated out of the production of these goods and services gets distributed among these factors of production in the form of rent, wages, interest and profit. These constitute the domestic factor incomes. The suppliers of the factor inputs like land, labor, capital and enterprise, and suppliers are the households, are known as household. So the supplier of the factor inputs are known as household. The organizers of production activity are known as firms. The household supply their factor services to the firms like labor, land, capital, entrepreneur. Firms make the payments to them for the use of their services in the form of wages, rent, profit and interest. Payment received from the firms constitute the income of the households. So households make use of this income to purchase different goods and services produced by the firms. Thus income leads to the consumption, and consumption in turn induces more production. The process keeps on continuously repeating itself. This is what we call the circular flow of income. Let us discuss some important key terms related to this topic. First one is economic activity, rent, wages, interest, profit, leakages and injections. First one is economic activity. Students, activities of farmers in the field, laborers on the construction site, cobblers at the shop, weavers working on the power looms, and doctors in the hospitals, engineers on construction sites are economic activities, because they all work to earn money. So the activities which have earning of money or wealth as their prime objective are economic activities, like activities of a CA means chartered accountant, shopkeeper, sweeper, driver, guard, teacher, principal, etc. All these are known as economic activities because they work to earn money. Rent, the amount paid to an auto driver on hiring him to go from one place to another for an hour. An amount paid for staying for a day in a hotel, for staying in someone's house for a month in the form of rent. They will give the money for the use of their things. That is known as rent. Rent is in the form of money given to the owner for the use of land, building, shop, machinery, hiring cab, etc. So fixed natural resources like land contribute to the production, remuneration for which is called rent. So rent is the price paid for the use of land or any building or any shop or any machinery. Wages, money got by a laborer at construction site for his services, working of a labor in the fields, for whitewashing a building in the form of wages. So wage is the remuneration of human labor. According to Benham, a wage may be defined as a sum of money paid under contract by an employer to a worker for his services rendered. Interest: getting rupees 2000 from a bank every month for depositing rupees 2 lakhs. Rupees 1000 every month from national saving bonds. Cost of borrowing: return on saving, savings account, loans, credit cards, etc. This is in the form of interest. When at the time of returning loan to a bank, we have to pay back an amount somewhat bigger than the borrowed loan amount. This is called interest. Profit: you buy a plot for rupees 2 lakhs and sell it for rupees 5 lakhs. So you earn rupees 3 lakh as a profit. Similarly, you buy a flat for rupees 12 lakhs and sell it for rupees 15 lakhs. So you have earned rupees 3 lakhs. This is your profit. Expenditure for the production of a machine is rupees 1000 and selling cost of a machine is rupees 1200. So your profit it is rupees 200. As you know that selling cost is bigger than the production cost, then there is a profit worth rupees 200 is there. So profit is a remuneration for entrepreneurship. Production of goods and services is the result of the combined efforts of the four basic factors of production, that is land, labor, capital and entrepreneurship. The income emerging from the production process is distributed amongst the factors of production in the form of like wages for labor, rent for land, interest for capital, that is machinery or any money, and profit to the entrepreneur. So land, labor, capital and entrepreneur are the factors of production, and wages, rent, interest and profits are the factor income. Leakages in terms of flow of payments means withdrawals. For example, household savings, net taxes and imports, these are the examples of leakages. Injections, that means investment in terms of flow of payments. For example, investment by firms, government purchases and exports, these are the examples of injections. Firms, like any organization that produces goods and services for the sale, like Khanna Paper Mills, Reliance India Limited, Sonalika Tractors, Tata Motors, all these are the firms. Their main objective is to maximize profit in the production process. The two main functions of these firms are as follows. First one is produce goods and services and supply them in the market. Second one is firms purchase inputs or raw materials from households to use them in the production process. Government, just like households and firms, the government also earns incomes and makes expenses. Two major functions played by the government are: first one is government earns revenue either from taxes like income tax, wealth tax, GST, corporate tax, custom tax, excise tax, and non-taxes also. Non-taxes like fees, fines, fees like college fees, school fees, licensing fees, registration fees, any kind of fines like for not purchasing tickets while journey, and breaking up of rules at the crossings. Next one is challans also there. Forfeitures means when any person dies without any hair. So these are the sources both from household and the firms from which the government can earn the revenue. The government provides essential public services such as maintenance of law and order, defense services, judiciaries, etc. All these are the public services that is provided by the government. Three sector model. Three sector model includes household sector, means a family or group of persons. Producing sector like firms, Sonalika, Escort, Mahindra and Mahindra, Tata Motors, Reliance India Limited, Khanna Paper Mills, Agro Foods India Limited, all these are the firms. Government sector. This sector will study a circular flow of income in excluding the rest of the world, that is a closed economy. A circular flow of income without any relations or without any trade with other nations, that is known as closed economy. Here flows from household sector. Household means a family or a group of people, and producing sector like firms like Escort, Reliance, Mahindra and Mahindra, Khanna Paper Mill. These are the producing sectors, means firms. To the government sector are in the form of taxes. Taxes by the firms like corporate tax, excise tax, custom tax and income tax. So government undertakes varied activities like building of roads, bridges, flyovers, employment schemes, raw material, etc. in an economy. So government incurs expenditure on these activities. To meet this expenditure, government collects revenue from various sources. The three major activities of the government in the circular flows are taxes. Taxes like income tax, property tax, corporate tax, custom tax, excise tax. Next one is government spendings on the commodities like LPG, grocery, buffer stock. Buffer stock means extra amount of goods that is left unsold with the shopkeepers, and the government will buy from the shopkeepers at a higher prices and ultimately sell it to the public. And petroleum, raw material, etc. So transfer payments like gifts, grants, scholarship, old age pension, etc. Next one is government imposes taxes both on households and firms. Households have to pay taxes in the form of income tax, GST, property tax, wealth tax. Firms have to pay the different taxes like corporate tax, excise duty, custom duty tax. Excise duty, it is on the production of goods and services, and custom tax, it is while trading the commodities. A part of the income generated in the economy flows into the government sector. Government makes use of this to purchase different commodities and factor services. The money thus flows back to firms and households. Money also flows back to households and firms when government incurs expenditure on transfer payments like subsidies, pensions, scholarship, financial aid, social security, grants, etc. Household sector, business sector and government. Firstly, household sector gives the factor inputs like land, labor, capital and entrepreneur to the firms, and firms give the factor payments in the form of rent for land, wages for labor, interest for capital and profit for entrepreneur to the household sector. And these rent, wages and interest, profit, this is the income of the household sector. Firms produce goods and services and give it to the household sector, and household sector consume these goods and services by giving payments to the business sector, and this is the revenue to the business sector. Now savings are there from the household sector and savings are there from the business sector also, and business sector and household sector both will make payments to the government in the form of taxes. like household make the payment in the form of income tax to the government and wealth tax to the government, and business sector make the payments to the government sector in the form of corporate tax, excise duty tax and custom duty tax. Corporate tax means that whatever the profit of the firms, the 30% of that profit the firms has to deposit to the government, and government from these revenues do the expenditure for the public and economic activities. Household sector, financial market and firms and government. Household save a part of their income and deposit to the banks or any other financial institution, and firms also save some part of their income and deposit to the banks. Savings by the household and savings by the firms both are with the banks. Now these savings will go to the government. Government can take loans from the financial markets for the expenditure purposes, for the welfare of the economy. Household sector can also take loan from the banks for the purchase of land, for car loans or for any other reason. Next one is firms can also take loan from the banks for the expansion of their business, for the purchase of new machinery, for setting up of a new plant. So firms can also take loan from the financial markets. Now next one is household sector give their factor services to the firms in the form of land, labor, capital and entrepreneur, and firms give the factor payments to the household sector in the form of rent, wages, interest and profit. Household sector purchase the goods and services produced by the firms and do the consumption expenditure, that is also goes to the firms. Next one is firms make the payment as well as household also make the payment to the government in the form of taxes. Household like income tax, wealth tax and property tax, and firms in the form of corporate tax. Corporate tax means 30% of their profit they have to deposit to the government. Excise tax, that is tax on the production of goods and services, and custom tax means when there is a trade of goods and services, at that time custom tax it is levied. Next one is transfer payments, that is government expenditure in the form of transfer payments to the household sector, like in the form of scholarships and old age pension, and to the firms in the form of subsidies and in the form of subsidized raw material also. So these are the expenditure by the government for the firms and the household sector in the form of transfer payments. Next one is factor payments by the firms to the household, it is there. Next one is, this is the circular flow of income in a three-sector economy. Government collects taxes from the firms and households. From the firms in the form of corporate tax, excise tax and custom duties, and from the household in the form of income tax, property tax and wealth tax. Money flows from the firms and households to the governments. Next one is in the form of taxes. Next one is government employs different factor services. In return for these services, factors of production like land, labor, capital and entrepreneur get remunerated in the form of rent for land, labor for wages, capital for interest and entrepreneur for profit. Thus money flows from government to household sector. The government also makes payment to the household sector by the way of pensions and scholarship. In this way, money flows from the government to household. The government also purchases different types of goods and services from different firms. As a result, money flows from government to the firms. Government also extends subsidies to the firms, like subsidized raw material it is there, and free electricity supply it is there, or cheaper electricity supply it is there. Subsidized enable producers to sell their products at a price which may be less than the cost of production. By the way of subsidies also, money flows from the government to the firms. Four-sector model. A modern monetary economy comprises a network of four-sector economies, that is also known as open economy, because in this sector, four-sector model, we will include the rest of the world. There are four sectors. First one is household sector, means a family or a group of persons. Second is producing sector, means firms like Sonalika, Escort, Mahindra and Mahindra, Tata Motors, etc. And government sector it is there, and rest of the world sector, like when we trade with the other nations like USA, China, Turkey, etc. So this four sector model, it is also known as open economy. An open economy develops relations with the rest of the world. These relations take the form of flow of goods like wheat, rice, pulses, spices, fruit, oil, dresses, etc. and services like shipping, interest, banking, etc. and capital can be a form of financial or machinery, etc. Against these flows, the country either receives money from the rest of the world or make payments to the rest of the world. A country receives payments, money against its export to the rest of the world. Suppose India has export wheat and spices to Bangladesh, and India will receive the payments from Bangladesh. Similarly, if India will import, suppose garlic from Bangladesh, then India will make payments to Bangladesh for the import of the commodities. Similarly, it receives money by the way of remittances. Remittances means sending income back to their families by NRIs from abroad. Transfer income means gifts, donations, grants, aid, etc. and factor income. Factor income like wages, rent, interest, profit. A country makes payment to other countries for its imports, like India will make payment to USA for importing machinery. Thus, money flows in and flows out to the rest of the world. If India will export to other countries, it means money will flows in, because India will receive the payment for their export. And if India will import any machinery or oil from other countries, it means that India has to make the payments to the other countries for the purchase of commodities, and that will be the flows out. Next one is these flows can be included in the circular flow chart. Households do not spend their complete income. They save a part of their income. This income is transferred to the capital market. Capital market consists of different types of financial institutions like mutual fund, banks, finance companies, investment companies, etc. Firms borrow money from the capital market for production purposes. Like Mahindra and Mahindra has borrowed money from the bank to expand their business. With the help of the borrowed money, they have to raise their production capacity by increasing the plant size, set up more machinery. Increased production capacity enables the economy to generate larger income in future. Both households and firms are obliged to make payments to the government in the form of taxes, like household sector make payment to the government in the form of income tax, wealth tax, sales tax, and firms in the form of custom tax, excise tax and corporate tax. Custom tax, when we trade with the other nations and we have to make the custom payments, and excise tax, it is a tax on the production of goods and services in the firms, and corporate tax, it is a tax on the profit of the firms. 30% of the profit that is earned by the firms, they have to deposit to the government. Household sector, firms, government and rest of the world. Firstly, we will discuss the factor services. Factor services from the household to the firms in the form of land, labor, capital and entrepreneur. Next one is, for the use of these services, firms will make the payment in the form of factor payments to the household, that is rent for land, wages for labor, interest for capital and profit for entrepreneur. This wage, rent, profit and interest, this is the factor payments by the firms to the household sector. And household sector, this is the income for the household sector, and household sector will dispose their income for the purchase of goods and services to the firms. That is the consumption expenditure by a household to the firms. Next one is, savings are there both by the household sector and the firms to the banks, that is the financial markets, and both household and firms can take loan from this financial market. Household can take loan for the purchase of a land, for the purchase of building, for purchase of car or study loan, and firms can take loan from the financial markets for expanding their business, for the expansion of their business, for the purchase of new machinery, for the upgradation of the industry. Now next one is, government can also take loan from the banks, and government also deposit their savings to the banks. Government can borrow from the banks for different economic activities. Next one is, household and firms both gives taxes to the government. Household gives the taxes to the government in the form of income tax, wealth tax and property tax, while firms give the taxes to the government in the form of corporate tax, that is out of the total profit of the firms, 30% of the profit will be deposited by the firms to the government. Next one is custom tax and excise tax. Excise tax, it is on the production of goods and services in the firms. Now next one is expenditure done by the government in the form of transfer payments to the household, like old age pension is there, scholarship it is there, and subsidies to the firms, like subsidized raw material provision to the firms, and firms have to sell those products at the rate which was lower than their production cost, because the raw material it is subsidized to the firms. Next one is, these are the expenditure by the government for the firms and the household sector. Now next one is, government make the payments made on the government account to the rest of the world, and payments received by the government from the rest of the world. Now next one is, firms make the payment for the imports to the rest of the world, and firms receive the payments from the rest of the world for their export. So this is all about the four sector model or the open economy. Next one is, this constitutes government revenue. The government in turn spends this money on various social activities like public libraries, street lights, irrigation facilities, etc., and economic services like purchase of buffer stock. Buffer stock means the stock of unsold commodities with the shopkeepers left that will be purchased by the government. LPG, that is liquid petroleum gas, petroleum, irrigation, roads, railways, flyover, bridges, etc. of the use of firms and household. An economy also interacts with the rest of the world. Suppose India has exported spices and garlic to Pakistan. For the export of these things, India will receive the payment from the Pakistan. So an economy sells goods like dresses, shoes, net, wheat, garlic, onion, machine, oil, etc. and services like shipping, banking, interest, etc. abroad. That is, it exports to the rest of the world. In return, economy receives payments for its exports. Economy makes use of these earnings to purchase goods and services from rest of the world. Suppose India has imported oil from Iran. For this import, India will make payment to Iran. This constitutes India's imports. For its imports, it makes payment to the rest of the world. Household receive international transfer income like gifts and international factor income like remittances from the rest of the world. The four sector model of the economy shows the overall macroeconomic condition of income and output in the following identity. Like income Y, it is equals to C for consumption plus investment for I plus government expenditure for G plus export for X minus import for M. So Y, it is equals to income or output, C is the consumption expenditure, I is the investment expenditure, G is for the government expenditure, X for export and M for imports. So we can say that income is the summation of consumption, investment, government spending and international trade. So household, business, government and rest of the world. Household will give the factor services to the firms in the form of land, labor, capital and entrepreneur, and business will give the factor payments to the household in the form of rent, wages, interest and profit. Rent for the use of land by the firms, wages for the services of the labor and interest for the use of machinery and profit for the entrepreneurship. Next one is firms will give the output of goods and services to the household sector and household sector will make the consumption expenditure and it becomes a revenue to the firms. Next one is household sector will also save and business sector will also save for the expansion of the business. Household sector and business sector both will give the taxes to the government. Household will make the payment of taxes in the form of income tax, wealth tax and property tax, while the business sector will give the taxes in the form of corporate tax, custom duty and excise tax. Custom duty for the trade of the commodities and excise duty for the production of the goods and services, and corporate tax means out of the total profit the firms have to deposit the 30% of their profit to the government in the form of corporate tax. Next one is these taxes are the source of revenue to the government and government will make the expenditure for the welfare of the economy. Next one is both firms and government will import from the other nations and give the payments to the other nation for the import of goods and services. And these firms and government both export of the things to the other nations and receive the payments for the export of these goods and services. So this is all about the four sector model, that is open economy. Now we will study the significance of study of the circular flow of income. Circular flow model help us to understand the mutual interdependence among different sectors of the economy, namely Household sector means a family or a group of persons. Production sector like firms, Sonalika, Scott, Reliance, etc. And government sector. Circular flow of income also help in identifying various types of leakages means withdrawals in the form of household savings and injections like investments in the economy. Second is circular flow of income facilitates the estimation of national income. There are three phases of circular flow of income. Production phase. Under the production phase there is a production process of goods and services in the firms. Income phase means distribution of income in the form of rent, wages, interest and profit. Expenditure phase means expenditure for warehousing, transport, raw material, shipping, banking, etc. Accordingly, national income can be measured in three different ways: as a flow of goods and services produced, as a flow of incomes, and as a flow of expenditures. Leakages and injections. Leakages means withdrawal from the flow. When households and firms save a part of their income and constitute leakages. They may be in the form of tax payments and imports also. Leakages reduce the flow of income. Injections on the other hand means introduction of the income into the flow. When households and firms borrow the savings, they constitute injections. Injections increase the flow of income. Injections can take the form of investment, government spending and exports. They add to the productive capacity of the economy and generate demand for produced goods and services. Next one is, so long as leakages means savings or withdrawals are equals to the injections, that is lendings and investments, circular flow of income continues indefinitely. Financial institutions play the role of intermediaries. Thus, the major sources of leakages and injections can be summed up as under: two-sector economy. In the two-sector economy, leakages like savings are there and injections, that is investment, is there. In a three-sector economy, leakages include savings plus taxes and injections, that is investment plus government spendings. And in the four-sector economy, there is savings. In the leakages there is savings, taxes and imports. And in the injections there is investment plus government spendings plus exports. So thus in a four-sector economy, the condition of equilibrium of the economy is, that is savings, taxes and imports will be equals to investment plus government spendings plus exports. So students, hope you all have understood the circular flow of income in three-sector model, that is closed economy, and in four-sector model, that is open economy. Now it's time to note down the homework. Question number 1 is, define the following terms with examples. First one is subsidy, transfer payments, government expenditure, tax, factors of government, transfer payments, government expenditure, factors of production. Question number 2 is, with the help of a well-labeled diagram, show the circular flow of income in a three-sector model. Question number 3 is, explain the concepts of leakages and injections in the circular flow of income. Question number 4 is, explain circular flow of income in a modern economy. Question number 5 is, a modern economy is a four-sector economy. Explain. And explain the significance of the study of circular flow of income. And students, please go through the links on the YouTube for more clarity. and hope you all will complete your written notes in your copies for better learning also. Thank you for listening, students.